Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Neil, nice to meet you all. So I'm going to be giving you guys a tour of the Biotrek. So come on down, it's going to be a little bit of hike, 10 minutes, but it's all worth it. How's everyone doing today?
Awesome, thank you for asking.
Doing good? Well, so you guys are all, like skiers and snowboarders, and you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with snowboarding resorts? It's like, that's crazy. It's 85 degrees, it's hot, like I'm getting a tan a little bit more tan, but honestly, the crazy thing is you can see everything around here at Biotrek. It all relates to other things in life, and at the end of this presentation, you're gonna find out why this can compare to snowboarding resorts and such. So, that was a good hike, guys. We're gonna come up to here. You see these large trees? Isn't that crazy? So these are like the trees in the alpine environments near as of snowboarding resorts. So you're probably wondering, why do these matter? So let me answer that question for you. Because of these trees and stuff, they create the alpine environment, and snowboarding resorts such as those, they're actually taking away from that environment because they're going out there and making these lifts, making these runs. Artificial snow can also mess up the soil around the area, and when they build ramps and stuff at parks, they usually end up disrupting the wildlife in that area, and they're gonna have to move. So you're probably thinking, how does this have anything to do with it? Well, let's play a little activity. So we're gonna be sitting down now. Everyone just gather around, sit down. So we're gonna go in an order, and you're gonna go around, and you're gonna tell me what type of ways do you think snowboarding and ski resorts disrupt the environment, and you can't do repeats, so just go back and forth. All three of us are gonna do it. So you can start, Daniel.
Well, there's habitat loss.
Habitat loss, okay. And then
I was gonna say man-made pollution.
Man-made pollution, all right. So the next thing I'd say is disruption to like lakes and rivers, because you know how they pump the water. What else you got? Let's see how many things you can think of before we run out of ideas.
Species disruption, like creates like a fragmentation of habitats.
Okay, all right. It's getting harder and harder to think about them.
I was gonna say maybe artificial snow.
Yeah, exactly. So the snow actually messes up with actually messes up the soil and all the stuff under the snow, because with the artificial moisture that's getting, the soil actually gets really eroded basically, and then in the dry season it gets really dry. So another thing we're going to talk about is let's see. So you mentioned all of those different ways that that snowboarding resorts have an impact on our environment, and it's pretty crazy to think about, because going around, did you think there was that many things?
I never really thought about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when we're having that time and going out there and enjoying ourselves, like on the mountain, you don't really have this type of, you don't really have this stuff in mind, but you want to keep that peace up there, like when I ever go up there on those mountains, it's pretty crazy to think about, as you guys all probably know too, because you guys are pretty avid mountain boarders. But as you go up there, you can see from the top how peaceful and quiet, like just the pure bliss of being up there. It's pretty crazy to think about, but nobody really understands that we're disrupting this kind of stuff when we do this. And because of that, the soil ends up turning dry like this during the summer, because there's not enough moisture, doesn't get enough grass because of that artificial snow. And then another thing that's really huge problem, it's crazy to think about, is, what do you think? When you go to a snowboarding resort, you see a lot of people and people leave a lot of trash. There you go. As you can see, it's pretty crazy to think, but there's a lot of grass and out there, and it's beautiful, but a lot of that's being eroded by the trash that people throw, beer cans and just littering and stuff. And you guys are probably thinking, what do we do? And it's not too hard to do, It's actually not too hard for each person to just pick up maybe one or two pieces of trash, just clean up after yourselves, and everything you do, just clean up after yourselves, and you're making a difference. One or two people, you don't think you make a difference, but if everyone follows what you do, you know, places like that wouldn't be dirty anymore, pretty much. And so another thing that you could do is I'm actually holding a program, and we're gonna be doing resort cleanup. So I'm gonna have maybe like 10, I just wanna have as many people as I can. I did a sign up sheet, so I'll make that available to you guys later today. And we're gonna basically go out there, maybe like 30 or 40 of us, and you know, just snowboard, have a good time. But we're also gonna make sure we go out there and clean up, you know, bring bags and stuff, just go down the mountain. How do you guys feel about that? Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, what about you?
Definitely. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think like that's the first steps. And then another thing that we actually made available, since you guys are more older kids, you know, like, you know, teens, like they don't have any money, you know, broke college students, but we actually made available a GoFundMe. So you're able to only, you know, if you can donate like $5 or $10 towards the cause, it's going to basically be for mountain preservation, and we're going to be able to protect and preserve the wildlife around that area, so they make ski resorts in more controlled environments, or they make sure that species are not disrupted when they're over there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so would you guys be interested in maybe donating to the GoFundMe, maybe like $5 or $10? It's not a lot, you know, but any little bit makes a difference.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and that's great that you guys were able to do that. So let's go out here and let's see what else we have. So, like we said, we can relate a lot of stuff to Biotrek and to the alpine environments. And like you see, you know, like just like you're walking through these trees over there. So look at this. This is what you'd see as, believe it or not, there's actually water under there. But basically, look at this pond, it's all dried up. And it's pretty crazy to think about, but like I was telling you guys earlier, when they pump and they make these artificial snow, they pump from nearby lakes and rivers, and this is what it ends up. It gets dried out, and ends up that any of the marine life here actually isn't able to like thrive anymore, because they're basically being forced out of their environment. So, as you can see, there's a lot around here that relates to snowboarding and mountain resorts. Because, you know, like, when you look over here, do you even think there could be anything to compare to? Let's be honest, like, the trees and stuff, it's really, you gotta think about these things, and use your head a little bit, and you just got an idea, like, use your imagination just a little bit, you know, and just find out what kind of different things can be related. You know, you can compare some of these things to so many different environments. That's why I love Biotrek so much. So, next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna go back over here, and I'm gonna make available to you guys any business cards, and feel free to ask me anything. I'll be able to stay around a little bit after. That'll conclude the presentation. I hope you guys learned a lot. And then here you go, and here is a pen, and here is the sign-in sheet for the resort if you want to do that. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, it was a pleasure to teach you guys. I'm glad. I hope you guys both learned a lot more about Biotrek and just about different plants and animals and how it relates to alpine environments. You know, we gotta preserve the unique serenity of these places. It's not something that needs to be disrupted, you know? And we have the power to stop that. Yeah? Thank you guys.
Thank you.